Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here at 7 o'clock. I'm Roger Susanin.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I thought you were telling me to go.
No. Go. Introduce everyone.
All right, we got Caitlin.
Yes.
We got Scott.
Yeah.
We got traffic. We got weather. We got it all.
And Tracy McCain's here this morning,
she's here too.
Yeah.
It's okay. This was actually the out I wanted. Thanks. It's been real.
Well, if you're leaving, then
You're out of here.
Come on,
happy Friday, everybody.
Good. All right,
Yes.
so Caitlin's obviously going to get you ready to head out the door. And Scott Gagliardi, you have a very important job. Tracking those temperatures, which have not budged much.
They haven't budged really at all. I mean, it's chilly out there. Here's a live look in Old Saybrook. It's a beautiful shot. I mean, we've been looking at this camera all morning. It's getting better and better. Sunrise coming in shortly. It's cold. It's colder than it was even yesterday. A live look in Hartford. Notice it's 7. It's a bit colder than yesterday as well. With the sunrise coming in about the next, say, 20 minutes or so. We're gaining daylight, but it's really not doing much to warm us up just yet. All you're focused on is January. We've added about 50 minutes. We're almost anyway. By the end of the month, we'll have added 50 minutes. In February, over an hour. So improvements are on the way, but it's not doing much. Look at these chilly temperatures. 1 in Willimantic, 2 in Tolland. A lot of single digits out there, but the feels like temperatures are just like this because there's hardly any wind. So you're not worried about expecting a bone-chillingly cold wind chill. Notice throughout the day, we actually improve even better than what we did yesterday. This is for inland towns, reaching those low 30s, possibly freezing. We haven't seen that in several days along the shoreline. A better chance to reach that 32 or 33 degree mark. But we have a nice warm-up on the way, maybe a flurry or two as well, and then a return to an Arctic blast. We're going to time it all out. That's all coming up in just a few minutes. Good morning, Kate.
Hey, good morning, Scott. Good morning, everyone. Let's get you an update here. If you're getting ready to head out the door and hit the road to head to work, bring the kids to school, majority of the state nice and quiet out there, which we will welcome. No crashes or major incidents to tell you about. No construction right now. We're starting to see some really brief delays down through Fairfield County. I'll get you an update on your drive times in just a second. But right now, live look outside 91 north and southbound right in Hartford. Here's a look outside in West Hartford, 84 east and westbound, still moving along as it is here in Meriden along 691. And in Middletown, right by the light there along Route 9, you can see the Aragoni Bridge connecting you to Portland. So things looking pretty good across the majority of the state here this morning, as I mentioned. And then, as promised, here are your drive times. Still looking very good down through Fairfield County, 95 southbound. Only a 71-minute ride. That's a great improvement. It's Friday, though, so things are a little bit quieter than the rest of the week. I'll get you another update coming up here in just a little bit. I'm Caitlin Francis with your Connecticut Chevy First Alert Traffic Report, driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
All right, 7:03 right now. We're on top of breaking news. We've just learned just minutes ago a wrong-way crash on Route 515 overnight in East Hartford was in fact deadly. And police say the woman driving the wrong way was killed after slamming into another car head-on. That crash now under investigation, and police are asking anyone who might have seen this crash to reach out to them and make sure that you are also driving safe.
And we are tracking more breaking news this morning. After nearly 10 hours, firefighters have finally finished clearing a fire in Old Saybrook.
Now, first responders working through the night to put out the flames at the building on Outer Cove Drive. And that's where we find your reporter, Olivia Schuler, who explains the ongoing challenges that firefighters faced.
Yeah, Roger and Tracy, when we first got out here about 4 o'clock this morning, flames were still tearing through this home. And now just 2 hours later, things look much different here. Take a look at what we can see right now. Just the framing of this house remains at this point. You can see significant damage, and there's also a lot of ice on the ground as well. It shows the water that firefighters were using to try to get this fire under control. Now, fortunately, the family who lived here is okay. They got out of the home safely and made that crucial 911 call around 7 o'clock last night. Now, the fire chief tells us there were 2 big issues battling this fire, cold temperatures and lack of water. Take a look at this video our crews captured last night. You can see how heavy flames tore through this home. Every window, a fiery orange color bleeds through. We're told that firefighters had issues getting water because there are no nearby fire hydrants and nearby water is frozen. In this video, you can see the nearby pond heavily frozen. You can also see that tanker trucks were used to fill up pools of water to help battle this fire. Cold temperatures and lack of water caused a ripple effect of problems. 2 firefighters are injured this morning after they slipped on ice. Chief Joe Johnson explains how the cold temperatures can be hazardous for crews.
After the water, we get water on the ground, it starts freezing, turns into an ice rink, and that's where most of the injuries happen. Is the guys were slipping and sliding at the bottom of the driveway going into the house or around the house trying to work. About half hour into it is when it really got slick, and where we had to start putting some sand down, and we called the DPW in, and we salted and sand the whole roadway.
Now, this home behind me here is about 5,800 square feet, so there was a lot of ground for firefighters to cover overnight. To put this all in perspective for you, Chief Johnson says this is the second or third largest fire he has ever seen in his career. And let this serve as a reminder to you to make sure that your smoke alarms at home are working. If you've been watching Eyewitness News all morning throughout the week, you've seen we've been at a number of fires, so we want to remind you the precautionary measures that you can take to keep you and your home safe. Your reporter in Old Saybrook, Olivia Schuler, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Olivia, thank you. Police arrested a woman in Naugatuck accused of leaving 2 young children home alone.
Well, police say that 2- and 4-year-olds were then out of the house wandering near cross streets wearing only their pajamas. Police say their caregiver, 54-year-old Carol Paynedo, admitted she left them unsupervised while she went to work. She's charged with cruelty and reckless endangerment.
And listen to this. In New Britain, an elementary school teacher was placed on leave for refusing to take down a crucifix in her classroom. Well, later today, she'll learn whether or not she'll still have a job going forward.
Your reporter, Marcy Jones, is at the school breaking down exactly what happened.
Good morning, Tracy and Roger. Well, this matter is starting to gain some national attention. Should a beloved 10-year teacher be able to display her crucifix near her desk, or is it unlawfully pushing religious beliefs onto students? That's the big question here. Marisol Arroyo Castro has taught in Connecticut public schools for more than 3 decades, and for the last 10 years, a crucifix has hung by her desk. That is until early December, when she was placed on paid leave after the school's administration asked her to remove the cross from students' sight, claiming it violated federal and state laws, which require public schools to remain neutral on religious matters. New Britain's superintendent released a statement on the matter, saying in part, quote, "We will not allow any teacher to use their position of authority to impose their personal religious beliefs or infringe on the civil rights of our students." The school district claims it's received complaints from students and staff that her teaching is influenced by her Catholic faith. Castro's lawyer says if they don't reinstate her, they'll take this to court.
They have never said you're injecting religion into your teaching. It has only been about that cross being at her personal workspace.
The New Britain School Committee is expected to meet today and decide whether or not Castro will be terminated. Make sure you stay with us all day long for the latest updates. Your reporter in New Britain, Marcy Jones, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, thanks, Marcy. Happening today in Hartford, the inauguration of the capital city's newest kid governor is just hours away.
It's got to be the best story of the day. Yeah. Kid Governor-elect Gagliardi Martinez and 6 young members of his cabinet will be sworn in to their honorary positions. 5th graders from around the state voted for Martinez to be their next kid governor.
And we absolutely love his platform. No surprise he was elected. He wants to increase school safety by stopping bullying right in its tracks. He also wants to start mental health awareness groups and promote buddy systems.
I'm nice, hardworking, and responsible. I love playing football, hanging out with friends, and learning new things. But what matters most is that everyone feels safe at school.
We can understand why he got all those votes, right? His inauguration ceremony begins shortly before 11 o'clock this morning at the old state capitol on Main Street. And Scott, I've been to that event. It is awesome, and congrats to Gagliardi.
Yes, congrats to him. Absolutely. It's chilly out there, though, this morning, no matter where you are. Check out Tolland. Actually dipped below 0, now down to -1. They're the coldest spot I could find in the state, but I'm sure there's some colder spots that we've seen from some of our weather watchers. 1 above in Willimantic, all the way up to 20 degrees in Bridgeport. So a wide spread of temperatures this morning. A beautiful shot from New London. Our iCam there showing sunrise coming in about the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. 11 degrees. There it is in New Haven. First glimpse of that sun. 14, not doing much to warm us up right now, but it will later on today. We're looking at temperatures even at or above freezing. First Alert Live radar is scanning the state dry, as it will throughout the weekend, most of it anyway. Let's take a look at their town-by-town forecasts. We have 20s for Goshen through Sharon. This is for your high temperatures today. 34 in Windsor, 34 degrees in Suffield, 32 in Pomfret and in Plainfield. Along the shoreline, looking at the same deal, low 30s, 34 from Niantic through Old Saybrook, up through Madison and Durham, Wallingford, Brantford, 33 degrees in Ansonia, and 30 in Naugatuck. We have a nice warm-up on the way, though. And beyond that, temperatures get very cold once again. All the latest on all that coming up with your full First Alert forecast.